Are you thinking about going on testosterone? These are the 4 biggest things you absolutely must do before considering TRT.
Balls Deep.
Welcome to Balls Deep, a humorous yet informative medical show with a mission of optimizing your performance in the bedroom, the bathroom, and the boardroom. I'm your host, Dr. Joe Pazona, a board-certified urologist and CEO of Pazona MD. We hope you enjoy. Now, let's jump right in.
Okay, so TRT is not something you just jump into lightly. I mean, we see a lot of slick ads all over the place, but this is something you have to think about. It's not a quick fix, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the first thing that you've got to do, which you'd be surprised most guys don't do, is to actually check your labs. Like, believe it or not, there are guys out there who are just starting on TRT because their buddy at the gym does, and they got some on the black market. Like, this is an absolute no-no. It's dangerous. You got to know your numbers here. Data is power.
So first thing to do, no question, check your labs.
Yes, and this is a common question that comes up. People come in and go, I want to check my labs. I go, well, I can order $5 worth of labs or $2,000 worth of labs. What do you want?
Big difference.
When we're talking about TRT, I think there's certain numbers we absolutely must know. So the first one is going to be your free and total testosterone. We got to know what your levels are. We've talked about this before. Total testosterone is how much your body is producing. Free testosterone is how much is available for use. And sometimes those numbers don't always correlate well, where one is normal, the total, and they're told by another doctor, oh, you're okay, but their free level is low and they have a lot of symptoms. So that's the first part you got to know.
Okay, so is that a T-score? Is that what people mean when they say check your T-score? I've heard this term batted around.
Yeah, it's funny. As the expert in hormones, I don't know if I've ever actually heard the score or heard that term being used. So there's so much out there in the lay sort of vernacular and vocabulary. That's why I think it's so important to get your information from experts who are talking about very specific, real things. We don't learn about a T-score in our training. We learn about free and total testosterone. Then we also need to know your blood counts and basic labs to make sure that we're not missing other things. And then, believe it or not, we actually also want to check your estrogen or estradiol levels. These are really important to know in a man.
We're still talking about men. You're checking estrogen in men. I thought estrogen was totally a lady thing.
No, believe it or not, if your estrogen levels are too low as a man, you can actually have trouble with erections and other side effects. Now, certainly we don't want guys having too high of estrogen levels, and we want to know their baseline, because when we put a guy on TRT, as it raises his testosterone levels, it will convert some of that testosterone to estrogen. So this is where, again, that expertise comes into play. So guys, the second thing that you've got to do is you have to get a symptom assessment. You know, most guys come in, Kat, and they go, well, my erections are fine and I still think about sex, so I'm sure my T levels are good. You'd be shocked how many guys with normal sexual function have all these symptoms of low T and didn't realize it. Fatigue, brain fog. They're just kind of dicks at home, to lack of a better,
for lack of any other better way to explain it.
Like, you guys are just not like nice people to be around.
You're not sweet.
No, not at all. And those are some of the day-to-day things that your partner may notice, and you're wondering, like, why is he so irritable?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it could be because his T levels are low. And then, of course, there's all of the long-term health impacts of losing muscle mass, belly getting a little bit bigger, and then, of course, troubles in the bedroom or the bathroom. So it is so important that guys come in and we do a full assessment of these symptoms so we know where you're starting at before we put you on any replacement therapy.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is also, ladies, pay attention to this. If your gentleman is not acting maybe his best, there could be a pattern. It could be symptoms of low T. There could be assistance for this. And guys, if your lady is wondering maybe where the sex went in the bedroom, there could be a problem with that.
Yeah, and listen, we want to be on the same page with this.
We want to be on the same page,
and it's important to. That's where all the issues come up. It's not being too high or too low. It's when you're not at the same level.
Misaligned.
Great way of putting
Okay.
it. I mean, see, that's what we have on this show. Just beautiful vocabulary,
Well, that's from me.
fabulous shoes. I mean, it's just great.
It's fantastic.
But no, there's another part that's important here. You know, we want to document where a guy's starting, because the number of times we put men on TRT and then they come back and see us in 6 to 12 weeks and they go, it's not working. And I start running through a bunch of symptoms and like, oh yeah, that's a lot better. That's a lot better. That's a lot better. And the only reason the guy's saying it's not working is because he expected to be, you know, Ron Jeremy in the
Superman?
bedroom.
Okay. Ron Jeremy.
Not
different.
Superman, super dong, you know, would probably be a more
I
appropriate
wouldn't
term.
have chosen that term, but I get what you're saying.
Yes. So
Okay.
we want to know where a guy's starting. So when we put him on the therapy, then we can go, okay, is this truly working or not? Because listen, I can treat your numbers all day. If you don't feel better, maybe we shouldn't continue it. Hey guys, are you feeling tired, irritable, having trouble losing those few extra pounds that you've put on through the years? Well, maybe we can help. What we're offering today is a complimentary 15-minute discovery call with one of our team members at Pazona MD. We see patients from all across the country. So click on the link below in the description and see if you're eligible to become a partner with us at Pazona MD. Now, back to the show. All right, number 3. To be honest with you, we're still talking about super dong, but we got to give you more practical information.
Again, not
here.
a term that we need to keep using, but okay.
So the third most important thing is you've got to talk to your partner. You know, this is a team decision. Back to your point earlier, Kat, about misalignment. Like, the last thing, guys, you should be doing is getting on something that's going to all of a sudden have you walking around with a boner 24/7, and you haven't okayed that with the missus, because she may be exhausted, stressed, dealing with the kids, and that's the last thing she wants to see from you. Is that fair to say?
I think that's fairly fair and correct. Yes. I think that then another thing that bears mentioning is, I think, talk to this, but people don't realize that low T in a guy really does affect not only him, but it can affect a family, because low energy, if you have low energy, that means you have less energy to devote to your children, to your partner. There is less energy for private intimacy. And yes, just to go back to your other point, we don't want too much testosterone. That can lead to a different set of issues.
Yeah, it's a balance for
a misalignment.
Sure. Yep. No, I mean, I think we had a great earlier episode in Balls Deep with Micah Berg, an ex-Marine vet, and he talks about how he figured out he had low T because his workout buddy's like, dude, something's off. Like, and started asking him questions, and he's like, yeah, my kids are annoying me. Yeah, I've been getting in more fights with my wife. So guys, realize that you may be going through some changes in a lot of these midlife crises that are happening in both men and women. There could be a strong hormonal cause to them. So go get checked out. It's not just all about bedroom activities. It might be impacting your relationship. The fourth and final thing, guys, that you've got to do is you've got to find an expert. You know, this is why we formed Pazona MD, Kat. It's why we talk about this. Is, you know, you can't be experts in everything. And there's so much misinformation about hormone optimization in men and women, but we're focusing on the guys today. And so it's something that is very nuanced, and it requires an expert set of eyes to look at and monitor. You know, too many guys are going off to these, you know, strip mall, doc in a box, cookie cutter approaches. They give you one form of TRT. They've got their protocol. And it's fine, you know, but by no means is it personalized or really following all the sort of guidelines. And so guys get started on this and either don't get optimal results, or worse, start getting side effects, and they don't have the right people to really coach them through it. So, you know, this takes regular follow-up. This takes continuing to check your blood tests and check in, as well as, you know, working on other aspects of your life. Because listen, I could put you on all the testosterone in the world. If you eat like crap, you sleep like crap, and you don't move your body, guess what? You ain't going to feel better.
It doesn't matter.
Right. So it truly is. I view it as a partnership. And just as you've got to talk to your partner at home, I kind of look at what we do at Pazona MD and the great team we've assembled as, your partner in healthcare, because there's a lot of misinformation and you want to be with an expert.
Well, I mean, I think it's in the same way. I mean, do you really want to go get like Botox in the kitchen of your friends, cousins, coworkers, family member? It's not the safest trajectory. You need to be in a medical setting with hopefully a board certified physician who is monitoring your progress. Also, maybe we don't want, facelifts out of Tijuana. Think this through, people, is what I'm saying. Where are you getting your medical care and who are you getting it from? Make sure he's an expert.
Yeah, I mean, there's botched in plastic surgery, and there's also botched in TRT, and I see it all the time. I see young guys being put on testosterone, and no one ever told them it's going to impact their fertility, and they were planning on having kids one day. We have a lot of options where we can raise testosterone and preserve fertility. A lot of guys who just felt like, oh, my doctor only does X, so that's all I can get. We offer every option of TRT. Medicine's very personalized. And so it's so important you get in front of the right person to manage this, because this is more complex than the gym bros would let you lead on to believe.
Well, of course. And you want a long haul situation with your doctor, not just somebody you see for one particular procedure one time. You want a long-term partnership and a doctor that's following you and your health long-term.
Partnership's the key. Just like it is at home, it should be with your healthcare. So guys, here's the deal. Test, don't guess. This is something that requires data. It requires you checking your labs, checking your symptoms, and then it's about partnership. Talk to your partner at home. She needs to be involved in this decision. Find an expert who's board certified, ideally a urologist who has expertise in hormone optimization, because this is nuanced. We want to personalize this so you get the best results for you, not the cookie cutter approach that every guy gets at the strip mall down the street.
Yep, guys, this is the public service announcement reminder. Listen to us. We see you in the good, the bad, and the ugly. And a lot of times, I think we see you better than you see yourself.
Kat, this will be one of the first times I agree with you as both co-host and husband. That yes, listen to your partner, guys. I mean, this is important.
I'm glad this is on camera forever. This is great.
Yeah, I just screwed myself there, guys. But no, seriously, it is a partnership, guys. I really appreciate you tuning in this week, and please remember, show yourself a little bit more love and kindness. We're all works in progress, and these are opportunities to grow. Thanks, and have a great day.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Balls Deep. If you'd like to join our stream team of listeners, please click the subscribe button on your favorite podcast platform. For more information about our practice, Pazona MD, please visit PazonaMD.com. This podcast is for informational purposes only, and the content is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice. The show does not constitute the practice of medicine. No doctor-patient relationship is formed through this podcast or any of the social media channels related to this show. The use of this information is at the user's own risk. Users should not disregard or delay in obtaining medical advice from any medical condition they have, and they should seek the assistance of their healthcare professionals for any such conditions.